class itself, therefore you don't have to create a new object using the class. You can just do the class name dot whatever and just use it. Whereas non-static functions are attached to the objects that are created by the class. Cool. All right, good. That was worth 5 points. It was basically a gift from me to you. Create a class with a main function that writes your name to the console. And then tell us how to compile it and run it. Okay. First of all, okay, so let's make a new file. New file. Whatever.java. Public class whatever. Public static void main string args. And then I need to write my name. System.out. There. Anything difficult about this? Easy, right? Oh, yes? Questions? No questions. Cool. All right, let's keep going. So that's 15 points right there. Oh, then how do we compile something in Java? How do you compile the Java class? Java C. Java C, and then the name of the file you want to compile, right? Whatever.java. How do you then run the result? Java, and then the class name. That's it. That was 15 points. Okay, good. So, let's keep going. Create a class called math. Inside, implement a static function called factorial, which computes the factorial recursively given an integer. This is like the easiest thing I could have given you. Okay, so let's just assume this whatever is called math. We want to do public. Hang on, let's zoom in on them. Public static int factorial, which takes as an input a value. Okay, now. Okay, so how do I write the factorial recursively? Tell me.
If it's 1, return val.
Or val, same thing. Okay.
Then return one times factorial called for 12 minus 1.
Cool. Okay. As long as this was called math, which assuming the file was also called math, that's it. That's the answer. Any questions about how to compute a factorial recursively? Easy? I feel like I'm almost wasting your time. You all got 100 on this, right? Okay. Next one. Create a class. Okay, this is the one that everyone was like, oh my god, what do we do? Create a Facebook user that has a name and a list of friends that you can add to or remove from. Some of you had Facebook users, some of you had like a student, some of you had a person. The question was exactly the same. You have a person who has a bunch of friends. Okay? So, how do we do that? So let's delete this one. Hang on. Okay, so let's create a file. So let's call it person.java. Oh, Facebook user. How about that? Facebook user.java. Okay, so public class Facebook user. Okay, we need a constructor that takes a name. How do I do that? How do I make a constructor? Okay, now I want it to take a string. Okay, now I need a member called name. So, string name. I want to set this to that. What do I do? person, a user, to have a list of friends who are also Facebook users. What do I do?
Person array.
Right, how do I make that array?
Define person.
How many people do we want to be friends with? Maximum.
Maximum 5,000.
5,000. Cool. Okay, so now I need a function to add a friend to my list. How do I do that? Paige? Yeah, so tell me what's right. Will this function return anything?
Nope. Void.
What's the name of the function?
Add friend.
Okay. What do I need as inputs to be able to add a friend?
Name. String.
A string or
Why a string? I'm not adding a string, I'm adding a person.
class.
Oops, sorry. There we go. Like that. Can you guys see? Okay. Now what do? I want to add this to this. Anyone? Okay, what would happen if I did this? Is this okay? Exactly. So every time I add a friend, I'm going to remove my previous friend and add that one, right? Not a good idea. What should I do? Huh? Loop. Good. Okay, so let's loop. Help me loop. Like this? Yeah? Right? Good. Okay, and now what do I do?
These dot friends are equal to null. These dot friends are equals to friend.
Am I done?
Else,
Okay, what would happen when my friends array is first empty, right? It's all nulls. I have 5,000 nulls. If I try to add a friend, what will happen? Obvious. There'd be a new friend there. Yeah, you can either break here, which means jump out of the loop, jump, or you can just return. Both will work.
But how it understands the task to
Okay.
return?
Void nincs return on. Bocs. Ja, így.
Բայց ոնց հավասարան որ եկել այդ կետին, որ պետք է return-ը։
Չհասկացա։
Ինչ որ մի պահի է, չէ return-ը։
It's fine. Երբ որ if statement-ի մեջ մտնում ենք, ընկերոջ ավելացնում ենք, բրցնում ենք, return ենք անում ֆունկցիայից։
Հա։
Ֆունկցիան վերջացնում, все, կոդ չի գրել։ Չի աշխատացնում։ Return ինչ է? Return նշանակում է վերջացան, չէ՞։ Վերջացացինք։ Հիմա return ենք անում ոչ մի բան, չէ՞։ Void։ Դա նույնն է, ինչպես որ վերջում անեի sense։ Այսա նույն բանն է ստացվում, return ենք անում ոչ մի բան։ Այսա դա return անում ոչ մի բան։ Կամ կարող ենք ուղղակի step break անենք, ինքը states return կանի։ Վերջում է։ Բարձա։ Okay. All right. Any questions regarding add friend? None? Okay. How do I remove a friend? Okay. I want to remove this friend, from my array. What do I do?
For
Okay. So the same exact for loop. And then?
If these friends are is equal to friend.
jump. Good. Let me zoom out a bit. There we go. That's the code. This was 25 points on the quiz. Any questions regarding this question? Pausas? Okay. Microphone. Delete down the middle. Okay, next question. Name two differences between JavaScript and Java. Go.
Java class-ը
Java-ն object oriented է։
Java-ում համեմատելիս
JavaScript can also be object oriented. In
JavaScript
fact, JavaScript, if you think about it, like everything is an object. But okay, alright, don't worry. Keep going.
JavaScript-ում բանանելուց համատելուց 3 հավասար է։
Ճիշտ է. In JavaScript we use triple equals and Java double equals. Go.
Java
Exactly.
Java-
Whenever you write functions, you have to specify the types that it's returning. Go. Get strike at the կարևորը. Exactly.
Array սարքելուց գրում ենք քանի
Java
հատ։
is strictly type like
Strict. Well, yes. Ինչ էր ասում դու գնաս? Array.
Ես ասում եի array սարքելուց Java-ում պետք է նշենք քանի։
Ճիշտ է. Yes, exactly. When you write Java, in Java, arrays have a fixed size, whereas in JavaScript, they seem to just grow as much as you like. There was a question in the back. A comment? Ճիշտ է. In JavaScript, the syntax to print to the console is console.log. In Java, it's system.out.println.
Java-ում array-ները խոճուր փակագծերով են, JavaScript-ում քառակուսի։
JavaScript-ում էներ կաշխատի է։
Հա, լավ։
Yeah. Okay, good. Fine. Other questions or comments? Okay, good. So this was easy. A present. You're welcome. Implement a class called stars and a static function called print triangle that takes an integer as input and prints to the console the triangle that gives you this thing. Did I specify recursion here? No, right? Also, you can do this with a for loop. Raise your hand if you want me to write the code. Okay. Now. Okay, so.
Sorry.
Well, okay, so we need to, public stars, public class stars. By the way, if you didn't write public, that's okay. This is also okay. So we have stars, and then here we do public static void print triangle, which takes a depth, right, of, let's say, n. And now we need to print a bunch of triangles. So, for int I is 0, I is less than n dot blank, no, n, I plus plus. Okay, this means it will loop n number of times, right? Okay? Եթե 5 տամ, 5 անգամ կպատկվի այս լուպը։ Ճիշտ եմ ասում։ Okay. So now at each level I need to print that many stars. So let me do another nested loop. Actually, I can create another function here. Hang on. Public static string make row, which takes an I, and then it creates a string. And then it loops for int I is 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, and it adds s plus equals star, and returns s. S parza ինչ անում։ Այո, ինչ անում։ Yeah, and hat astral, կպցնում իրար, վերադասնում որպես մի հատ text. Good. So here, we simply do system.out.println. We call make row, and we pass it I. That's it. Հասցի ոնց է, սպասի։ Հա, ուզում եք թարսան։ Ну, չէ։ Մեծից փոքրացնում եք։ Եթե թարսն եք ուզում, թարսն եք ուզում։
Հիմա ինքը թարս։
Էսի որ տպեք ինքը բերեմ։
Հա, ճիշտ է, թարս կտվեր, ճիշտ է։ Սա կսկսի առաջին դեպքում ու 0 հատ կտվի, հետո կտենց կգնան մինչև 4-ը, եթե 5 տայինք, որը սխալ է, չէ։
Որ մեկից ենք։
Ճիշտ է, նախ կարող ենք, եթե այդ կողմից գնանք, կարող ենք սենց անենք, այդ մեկ։ Իսկ հակառակը, եթե մենք ուզում ենք, այդ կլինի սենց, չէ։ Իսկ որպեսի շուրջ տանք, exactly, այն հավասարացնում ենք n-ին, I-ը ասում ենք ավելի մեծ, քան հավասար ինչին։ Ու այսեն I մինուս երկը։ Այ հիմա կլինի այսանց։ That's it. Awesome. Raise your hand if you didn't understand this question and you want me to explain it further. Բոլորը հասկացան։ Այսինքն կայֆոտ հարցեր ենք դաստան։ Okay, in the quiz. Okay, using JavaScript, write a function that takes a string and returns another string that is the reversed version of that one. Was this quiz hard?
No.
Okay, raise your hand if you thought this quiz was legitimately difficult. Okay, raise your hand if you thought this quiz was not easy but not hard, like normal. Okay, and if it was easy, who thinks it was easy? You don't want to show off, right? By the way, what's interesting is, did you notice the majority were in the middle? So we have like a bell curve. Interesting. All right, good. So, what are we doing again? I forgot.
Reverse.
All right, reversing a string. Okay, so help me write a function that reverses a string. Const reverse is a function that takes a string. Okay, now what I can do is, what do? You tell me. First, help me do it recursively. Create an empty string. Okay. Let S be S2 be an empty string. Okay, this is not going to be recursive, but okay, do it using a for loop. Well done. I havasara esi dot lengthy. Okay, minus meg, exactly. Minus meg, heto. Kani aya each. Ավելի մեծակած հավասար զրոյի I minus minus. That's one way to do it. By the way, there's another way. Let's make this easier.
With recursion.
Okay, այս վարիանտը ավարտեմ, հետո ավելի հեշտ վարիանտը կարող եմ ցույց տալ։ Okay, հիմա այս երկուսին մենք անում ենք պլյուս հավասար S-ի վերջից։ Կվերացնենք
Փակագիծը։
Հա, հեսական։ Okay, փակագիծը։ So let's see, will this work? We keep attaching the end of one. Yeah, it works. Okay, now watch what I can do. Watch this. Let's do something like this. Let I be 0. I is less than s dot length. I plus plus. What will happen now? Չէ, հիմա ինչ կրնի, այ հիմա որ անեմ։ S2-ն ինչ կրնի։
Նույնը ինչ որ։
Նույնը, չէ, it's a copy. So watch this. What does this expression mean? It means S2 plus, չէ։ Իսկ հետո այս քիրա, եթե սենց անեմ ինչ կրնի։ Եկեք Germany negative.
But why?
Did someone say why? Good question. Good question. Why? Why? Okay.
Nobody sees that.
Still, no one can see this?
I do.
Do people in the back see this? Can you see this?
I've only seen that.
Yes? No, how can you say yes and she says no? She's right next to you. One of you is lying. All right. Okay, no problem. Okay. What do I do? How do I explain this? Okay, simple enough. Let's make this a bit smaller. Let's call it ABC. Okay? Now, so S becomes ABC, right? So S is now ABC. S is now ABC, right? When this goes in here. Then, S is now, S2 is now an empty string, nothing. So then we loop starting from 0, and we take S of I, which is the first character in this string, that's A, and we attach it to S2, which is empty, and what we get is A, right? So the first time, it's A. With me? Then, what we do is next time, we take S of I, S of 1, which would be B, but we concatenate it to the left of S2, which is A. So we attach it there. We loop again, and we take the last one, which is C, and we attach it to the left of S2. So we put it here. So we end up with CBA instead of ABC. Yes?
Yes, կարող ենք չէ, այս ուղղակի այս երկուսինը ճկարը դավիթացնել, ինդեքսներ տալել, ասենք այս երկուսի ի, հավասարը այս մեկի, վերջի
Ու հետո sense, sounds good. Fine, sure. Yes, of course you can do it. There are lots of ways to write the same code, yes.
If it's not a string and it's an array,
It would be exactly the same. What's the difference? Okay, Arya Rita. A, B, C. Sense, Chad? Okay, it still uses a length, right? An array has length, so no problem. You can get an index from an array, no problem. And when you get the index, you get the text and you concatenate the texts. So in the end, you still come up with CBN.
if there is an array, then you have to get the first array.
Sorry. In that case, you would do this. And then what you would do is, okay, this is a little trickier. Այստեղ պետք է արդեն մյուս կողմից գալ ու վերջում գցնել. Yeah. Good. Okay, cool. All right. Other questions or concerns? Nothing? Parsa, check quiz up. Good. Question for you guys. Raise your hands if you guys want to become, for those of you who want to become software engineers later. I'm just curious. Who wants to actually become a programmer later? And we're Okay. So just so I understand, just for my own knowledge, what for those of you who did not raise your hands, so for those of you who raise your hands, I get it. Obviously, you're going to be writing awesome code and build applications. Fine. What about the rest of you? What other, I mean, I know there's research in physics, and okay, I get that. Well, what else? What do you want to do? What? Data science. Okay, let's just assume that data scientist is not the same as a programmer. A data scientist is just a programmer who knows math, which just means he's a programmer. Or she. But okay, sure, data science. Okay, all right, okay, data science. What else? So we have people writing code to play with data. We have people writing code to build applications. What else do we have? What do you want to do with your life? Yes? People who are just, sounds good, but let me ask you a question. Okay, forget programming for a second. What's your major? English and comm. Okay, awesome. That's why you're so happy. I get it. It's almost over. You're about to go back to your homeland. No, but what do you want to do? Like, you're going to graduate in 3.5 years, right? Ish? What's the next step? Oh, wow. Oh, you're almost done. Congratulations. All right, so what are you going to do once it's over?
I think public relations for a media firm.
Public relations for a media firm, you said?
For now, I'm working for an ICT company. It's a company that organizes IT trainings. That's why this is interesting.
Cool. Okay. Makes sense. So you're studying your domain. That's very nice. Okay, cool. All right, so what else? What other sort of interests do we have here? That's it? Oh, yes. Uh-huh. Very cool. All right. Did you know that I used to be an IR major for a while, international relations, for like 1 semester? So here's what happened. I was going to become a doctor. Then I decided I love it, but I want to do more things. So I was like, ooh, I love economics and talking to people, stuff like that. So then I did a semester of IR, loved it, by the way. It's an amazing major. But then I realized, I don't know what it's like in Armenia, but there's no way I'm going to get a job doing this. So I quit that, and then I was like, okay, what can I do where I can work anywhere, including actually in that field? I could work with politicians and stuff, So that's how I ended up in computer science. Because with computer science, you can work anywhere, including any of those domains, right? So economics, whatever, you need statistical analysis. Very cool. Other things, questions, concerns? Yes?
I'm confused what I want to do in the future, so I try new things.
Perfect. Okay, you're my target audience. Listen, confusion is, okay. Computer science is what you pick when you're confused. It's what I did.
Me too.
Let me explain the reasoning. Again, the reasoning is very simple. If you know I'm going to, make cups for a living, no problem. You go and you study cups and that's it. You're going to make cups and you're going to be an awesome cup maker. Okay? If you don't know what you want to do, you want to try to, because you don't have a lot of time, right? You only have 4 years, 3.5 maybe. I don't know. What year are you? Second. Okay, so even less, right? Okay. You don't have a lot of time and it's almost done. It's going to be done like this. And then you're going to be in the marketplace wondering what to do, right? So for those of you who are not sure about what you want to do in life, as career, whatever, computer science is like perfect. Because computer science allows you to do anything you want. If you want to work with doctors, if you care about like biology, you want to cure cancer, whatever, you can do that as a programmer. If you want to work in a bank and you want to tell them like what they should invest in, do that as a programmer. That's just data science combined with programming. It's math, it's some statistics plus programming. If you want to work in, in a factory, right? You want to do their automated supply chain, right? You want to specify when they're going to buy, when, schedule things, right? Risk analysis, programming, algorithms. Like anything you want to, what interests you? Horses, anything. Like what are you curious about? Name me like 3 things you like.
Horror games.
Photography, music,
Business, okay. So like every business you can think of is if it's either going into IT or it's already IT. Okay, so there you go. So business, right? So if you care about business, programming is kind of a must, right? Cool. All right, awesome. So thank you for being here. We love having you here. Welcome. Other things that you want to bring up regarding your future?
I'm also really lost. I mean, between international affairs and computer science and communications, and I just don't know what I want.
Good question.
I don't know
All right,
if I
listen.
will ever know.
Okay, I'm going to tell you guys a very basic question, right? I want you to pose this question to yourselves all the time. Would you hire yourselves?
As well.
It's a simple question, right? In other words, don't just think, when I graduate, I'm going to get a job. Think, when I graduate, who would hire me and why? Right? In other words, position yourself, okay. Let me tell you guys something that someone told me once, which is, anytime you work for a company, any company, the best place to be is close to the secret sauce. What I mean by this is, any company, no matter what it is that they're doing, has a whole bunch of like external things that they're doing, and then like the core thing that they have to do in order for the company to run. Otherwise, the company does not run, right? So if you work at a marketing firm, you want to be the person doing the marketing. If you work at an IT firm, you want to be the person actually coding. If you work at a, I don't know, if you work at a restaurant, you want to be the person who's actually making the food. Because if you don't make the food, the restaurant does not exist. Basically, you want to be the person where if you leave, everything collapses. Right? You want to be that core. Because that means, first of all, they're going to have to pay you to stay. Right? Think about it. It means you have leverage. Right? If everyone depends on you, that means they have to pay for your dependence. The more they depend on you, the more job security you have and the more money you make. It's actually fairly straightforward. Now, number two, when you're at the core of it, you're kind of the most important person at the company, right? Well, so that means A, you have more power, you have more money, you're happier, you're more flexible, you get to make more demands on what you want to do. If you're like a mid-level programmer who's just starting to work or whatever, you basically have to do what everyone says. If you're an advanced, like lead engineer, you can do whatever you want. Go to the office whenever you want, leave the office whenever you want. What are they going to do? Fire you? You're the lead engineer. If you don't learn to work, everything dies. This is what I mean. In order to have freedom, you have to be really good at what you do, and you have to be at the core of the company. Without you, the company must not exist. If you leave, the company dies. This is where you want to be. Now, the company might be yours. The company could be yours. Maybe you start off as a lead engineer at some company, then you make your own company, now you're your own lead engineer. Cool. But whatever you do, strive to be that person that everything relies on. That's where you want to be. That's where power exists. Okay. So, going back to your question, you have interests. What you told me are the things that you're interested in, right? You're interested in communications, you're interested in getting people to understand the message, right? So that, so a lot of things are encapsulated into that, right? Marketing, PR, blah, blah, blah. You're interested in engineering, you're interested in a few other things. These are your interests, which is fine, and it's important to have lots of interests, right? I love to dance salsa, that's an interest. I'm not going to make money doing it, but I love it, okay? You have interests, fine. But understand at the end of the day, in however many years it's going to take you to graduate, what is it that's going to make you the core of a company? Yeah? So first, who would hire you? And second, once they hire you, how are you going to become, how do you become that core of the company? Until you understand what that is, understand what that is.
Okay.
Okay? It's important to do that. And you can use this time as a student to figure that out. But try to get that figured out by the time you graduate.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, look, this is the most amount of time you're ever, I know you guys think you're super busy and like, oh my god, quizzes, exams, projects. This is the most time you will ever have in your life. I promise you. The moment you guys start working and have families and whatever, you're not going to have any time for anything. So this is the time when you're going to spend reading, I don't know, finding yourselves, whatever, doing it, studying Buddhism, I don't know, whatever it is that you want to do. This is the time to do it. Because later you're not going to do it. You're not going to have any time. Trust me on this. So this is the time to figure that out, yeah? Because later life is going to start and that's it.
Yeah.
Cool, but good points. Other questions, concerns, anything?
Right?
Anyone want to open up a coffee shop? No?
Don't come by.
Exactly. Actually, this is a huge thing. Did you guys know? Like, you guys know Green Bean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite cafes. It used to be like you would walk in there and there'd be like 2 or 3 repats sitting there just on their phones. Now you walk in, it's like all computers. Because all the programmers are now going there to write code. It's the coolest thing. I don't know why I told you that. Okay,
Goodbye.
do you guys have any other questions regarding either this class or computer science in general, the curriculum, what you have to look forward to in the future, anything that I can help you with while I'm here?
I'm gonna miss it.
You're gonna miss? Oh,
Everyone is. It feels like goodbye and it's so sad.
oh, okay, so listen. You guys know me now, right? Hi, Robert Meschan. I'm not going to disappear just because the class is over. Remember why I'm here. I'm not here to get a paycheck. Trust me, the paycheck they give me is like nothing. I'm here because I actually want to be here. Same thing with Vazgen, same thing with Zaruhi, Armen, and everyone else that's working with you. So, why are we here? It's not because we want you to pass this class. We're here because we want you to succeed, right? It's important to me that you guys do well in life. I want to be proud of all of you. I already am, but I want to be more. So, what that means is that I will make myself available to you beyond this class. Moving forward, after the class is over, you guys, I don't know, years from now, whatever, whenever, if you guys feel like I can help you with something, whether it's advice, whether it's whatever, I don't know, just whatever I can help you with, write to me. I'm on Facebook, you guys know. Write to me and I will do what I can. I won't speak for Vazgen because I don't want him to get bombarded with questions, but I feel like he feels the same. And the same with the rest of the team. So, don't feel like just because I'm not just a professor who's working here and then the semester's over and bye, I'm never going to see you again. That's not how this works. We have a relationship now. If you guys have questions or anything that I can do to help you or to push you forward, tell me and I'll happily do it. If I can, of course. Cool? Alright. Nagavik?
Poche. It's so sad.
I'll check the
Is this our last teacher?
I said Nagavik. Oh, okay. I'm not done for a second. Oh, by the way, bring like phones and cameras and stuff to the event. We can do like photos there. Lots of photos there.